revenge killing, right? That's annoying as hell. Toby, we were on a couple weeks ago. We were on 3 Albertas, and we were fighting, what, 3 Rexes, a Spino, and 2 hats. And both of those hats died 4 times each, and came back every single time within 2 or 3 minutes until
They killed us.
like they would land.
Elder needs to find what kind of game they want Path of Titan to be. If they want Path of Titan to be a fantasy, MMO, adventure type of game, then they have to build a game around that.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm here with a couple friends here today. We got Low-Key Craze, the GOAT,
Hey, yo.
Boogeyman,
Let's stop it,
YouTube, another GOAT,
Yo.
and we got Germs on the call here. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good, bro.
Doing
Good,
great,
good.
bro. Hope you're doing good.
Thanks for having us, Toby.
It's just so you guys know, we are actually friends. We do have a group chat. So but yeah, I'm excited to talk about some things today with you guys about Path of Titans. Got some controversial topics here, maybe some good things to discuss. We're gonna talk about the aquatic community. We're gonna talk about maybe some balancing changes, mega packing, mix packing.
Wow.
Kind of an exciting video. Maybe.
A lot of things, man. Let's get into it.
Yes, sir. But let's get right into this. So what we'll do is we'll go down the line. We'll each answer these questions one at a time. I'll go last. First question is how would you guys rate this game on a scale of 1 through 10? 1 being the devs are absolutely horrible, doing a terrible job. And 10 being it's amazing, doesn't need any changes, is perfect.
I'd call it a 7. I mean, the devs listen to the community. I know they're a small team and they don't get stuff out like as fast as people want, right? But I think they're still putting in the work, and everything is subject to change. But I think in the end they'll find a good balance for everything and everyone will be happy.
All right, so Boogie rates a 7.
For me, I would say 8. I'm right along those same lines. I got an extra point in there just because I've been looking for a dino game for a long time. This hits everything I ever was looking for, plus, so I'm just excited of what is here. As a game, I love the view. I come inside. If I'm not fighting, I appreciate looking off the cliffs, looking at the sunrise and stuff. Like, these little elements really bring this game to life for me. And so I got nothing but good things, really. 8, solid 8. There's things that could change, like Boog said. There's a lot of development going on. It's hard to be mad at a game that's moving this fast, this consistently, So I'm proud. I'm happy to be a part of a community working this hard. No other game I play reacts from devs. Reacts to the situations, updates, just moves like this. So for me, I'm like, wow, this is amazing to be a part of something like this. So I'll stand on a solid 8.
Hell yeah, 7 and 8. All right, Germs, what you got, man?
I would say I will go with a 7, like Boogie. Like Boogie. The devs listen to the community, and they do make changes based on community feedbacks. But I think one of the issues that Path currently has right now is an identity crisis, where they can't figure out what kind of game they want Path to be. I know they want Path to be like survival and MMO, but they're missing a lot of features in there that fits like those aspects. So like for survival, there's not really much survival aspects. It's more like just a lot of dinosaur battling, fighting. And I think once Path figure out what kind of game they want Path Titan to be, then I think the game would definitely grow and improve a lot. But right now, overall, the game is enjoyable. I do a lot of solo runs, and I understand the solo players' frustration on that. But I also understand why Path doesn't really want to buff solo players that much too, because people that run group, they don't have to group to be in a group. They can utilize the solo buffs, and I can see that point as well too. But overall, Path is fun and it is enjoyable. But I think right now, with all the changes that's going on, they are losing a lot of players. But over time, I think Path will be a much better game once they figure out exactly what type of game they want Path Titan to be. So I'll go with a 7. It's fun, it's good, it's enjoyable, but still in the process of figuring out what exactly it wants to be.
Good answer. Good answer. All right, so we got 2 7s and an 8. I like it. For me personally, I would say, given the state of the game right now in mid 2025, I would have to agree with a 7. I don't want to get too much into it right now, but I think the game is making some really good changes. If you would have asked me a couple months ago, I probably would have maybe a 6. But it does seem like they are making some good changes for the better, and a lot of these TLCs are coming out pretty fast, so I am pretty happy about that. So yeah, I would say a 7 for me as well. It is pretty cool playing dinosaurs in a survival game, though. So let's
Yeah,
see.
the sooner they get those TLCs out of the way, the sooner they can focus on some of the bigger, more important game mechanics. So I'm ready for them to spit them out.
I'm
Oh,
glad
yeah.
you said that, 'cause I think a lot of people don't understand that. So yes, I 100% agree with that.
100%. Let's move on to the next thing here. Let's see. From each of you, what are your top 3 dinos to play in the game?
Hmm.
Doesn't have to be the meta, just like what you enjoy.
Honestly, I still love Stago,
Mm.
even though as these apexes get better and better, Stago sort of goes down the ladder of survivability and whatnot. But I like the way it plays. I really hope it never gets a directional tail attack.
Speaking of
so against
Stego,
it.
there's one right here.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
I heard
finished,
some
please.
walking too. Hold on.
There's one right here. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
How
But-
crazy is that though? Yeah.
Yeah, so I love Stago. I like the way it plays. Good defensive dino. I'd say Conch as well, just because it's versatile and it got one of the best TLCs, I'd say.
Hell yeah.
Like old Sarko with the crushing bite. I think people said it wasn't much of like a skill-based gameplay anymore, but I mean, I think any fight that you get into where you die in 2 hits and a bite, like surviving that, coming out on top, especially against officials groups, is pretty rewarding, man. I can't think of anything that was more rewarding than like running through 2 or 3 things on a Sarko. So I still really like Sarko, even though he's in a rough spot. But that TLC will come soon, and I have high hopes they'll do good with it, like they did the semi-aquatics, like Spino. I love Spino right now too.
Yeah,
And
I
I
love
didn't like the old one.
Same.
All right, Craze.
Good group. Oh yeah. Yeah, I thought a lot about this because I play every dino, so I'm like, but if I really think about which ones I miss the most, I guess when I'm not playing them, Suko is definitely at the top. Yeah, somewhere at the top. I would have to say Conch too, since he named Conch. That's on my list. Used to be Metri, but Conch took the spot. I can't lie. I just love semis. So Suko, Conch, and Wildly, not much of a difference. I have to say, it's so hard, bro. But I just have to give it to Duck, man. My third. I really like Duck. Really miss Duck all the time. So those would probably be my top 3 favorites. And it's just by slim margins.
For me, I would say my top 3 dinos that I'm currently playing at the moment. I would say if I had to pick top 3 for solo, then I would say Concavinator is probably number 1. because it's got so much ability that can support it. Healing, stamina regain. It's semi-aquatic. It's quick. It's so the survivability on the conch is very high, and you could do so much of it. Bleed is one of the strongest status effects in the game. You just let bleed do the work, and you can kill so many things. I would say Starkle is also great too because you can drown dinos. It's just fun playing a crocodile in the game and being able to just drown dinos, and I think it's a good way to enjoy the game. Yes, you might not survive a lot of encounter. Currently, right now with that TLC, it's one of the weakest, but it's still very enjoyable. And my third one for solo players, I would say for sure Spinosaurus. Again, the survivability of that is high. It's got a good knockback tail attack that does knockback in the water. You can go on land and water, and it's pretty strong as an apex. It can handle a lot of apex mid tiers to lower. It can do very well too. You know, based on the playstyle you decide to go with. But then if you were to play group, I'll have a different top three for group. But for solo, those would be the three that I would choose.
I think for me, my list has probably changed a little bit based on if you were to ask me like a year ago or so. I used to really love Dasp. By the way, I'm gonna die of thirst here because there's no water and I just ate all the salt rock.
Oh.
Rip.
Wait a minute. Okay, no, I might be okay. I honestly, okay, so Dasp used to be like my #1 on land because if you ran a traction build, dude, I miss traction so much. I miss traction on dinos with the extra boosted turning and then speed high. Anyway, getting too much into that. So I would say right now, Conka for sure. What an incredible TLC, man. Incredible. So much versatility. It's fast. It does bleed, which anything that does bleed is kind of S tier right now with the healing meta. So Conka, Spino. I think Spino was incredible TLC. We'll get into that in a little bit here. And then I think right now, Alberta, man. Alberta is putting up a really good fight right now. I used to not really play it that much, but now it's like it really is slept on. You are right about that. So Alberta, Conka, and Spino are my 3 right now. But yeah, really great
Fire list.
dino mentions right there from you guys. Let's
Just
see.
hearing you say traction reminds me of like Alio and Kentro back in the day that you would get the turn speed sub on like Alio, for example. You would get Lone Survivor with the maneuverability. You'd get traction and balance tail, and that thing would like it would turn faster than you can precise turn on this little sucker right here. It was insane.
Oh yeah, bro. I miss
Mega
that
good.
so much, bro. Just traction builds and like it made sense because the drawback was the stamina regen, you know what I mean? So it's kind of slept on cuz most people wouldn't run it, you know? What do you guys think about the Spinal TLC?
I think it's fire. I think they did a really good job. I didn't enjoy playing Spinal really before. But I think maybe it's the bare bones kit that on some things I like, some things I don't, but Spino didn't really hit for me. But now I like you can build it for land, you can build it for water. I like that they've done that. And you can get the best of both worlds if you want. I don't know. I think what is that little tail vortex thing it does? I think that's a little bit corny to watch or like to see happen, but I mean, who's to say that? Like, there's heal calls in the game. There's a bunch of other stuff that could be interpreted as corny as well. But I think overall, they did a pretty good job, and it gives me high hopes for that Sarko TLC.
Yeah, same sentiment. I really love it, bro. I think that they did a fire job. It's dope. So what I really like about it, I like the movement. Like it feels good. I was also a person who did not play much Spino. Probably only did like one Spino in my time video, and I just never was attracted to it. Like I feel like I was walking a tree around the map. Like it's so stiff and heavy, bro. It was not fun. So just it was fun to fight with it. I enjoyed that, but like the aspect of just movement, that's a big piece on this game for me. Make it feel real. Let me feel immersed in the game. And definitely Spino didn't do that for me. I got a lot of people who are Spino mains, much love to them, but this is the best I feel Spino has been. Like it just feels like it's on the ground now, left and right with the stick. I feel like it's a more dino effect now. I feel good. So just the movement, just the look of it, all the sail changes. I don't know. I only like the armor one. The sail change on that water build is crazy to me. I don't know what the hell that thing looks morphed like. I don't know if
I
they
agree.
uploaded it too fast. Yeah, yeah. I think they tried to speed that one out because they'll probably change that. That don't look natural. But what else? The tail attack, man. I was very in the middle on that. Like first saw it, didn't know anything about it, didn't even see it on YouTube. I was like, what the hell? You know, like what is that, bro? It was actually shocking. Little whirlpool. I'm happy they're trying things out, but I'm the same. I can't even lie. Like it's cartoonish. Like with the game's direction, the bite, making the scars real. I don't see how that made sense. You know what I mean to throw in there. So it's cool. I like that whoever's idea it was, this is their game. They wanted to try an idea out. It probably was sitting on that, sleeping on that. Hey, what if a Spinal could drag you in with a whirlpool? Cool, cool. You tried it, but I don't know if that was the best one. So I'm hoping they change that, make it a little something else. But you gotta say overall, yeah, Spino is an A.
Yeah, I agree too. The movement feels much better now. Yeah, I agree too. The movement feels much better. The abilities, I think they really give him more options, which is great. More AOE and more armor buff if he gets hit with status effect. They just made him much better. And honestly, I feel kind of bad for the Rex mains because Rex didn't get that treatment. But, kind of going back into Spinal, I think they did Spinal very well. It does feel slower compared to the pre-Spinal. And I think there was some complaints about Sweep using stamina, but they recently made that change. They took away the stamina drain when using Sweep, so now Sweep is very overpowered, considering it does one of the highest damage for a carnivore tail attack. But overall, the animation looks great. It's great for photo shooting. The whirlpool attack. That's something definitely unique and different in the game. You don't see that. But who knows, right? Maybe in a couple TLCs, you might see other dinosaurs using some special area effect, and it has all those cool animation as well too. And then we lose the realism of Path of Titan, and it becomes an MMO.
I think as far as the model goes, I think it looks a lot better. I don't know about the swim stamina one. That one looks a little goofy to me. But
The
no,
run to the litter.
yeah, I mean, okay, so I like that they all look different. I really love that they're doing that. Like they all look vastly different, you know. Like one of the best, I want to jump into Style TLC, but that was an incredible TLC as far as the model goes, at least. I love that they're 3 different little ceratopsians. So I am glad. I do like this Spino remodel a lot. What is going on over there?
Yeah, this critter is very noisy.
So sorry. Yes, I was getting bit up.
You're
Just got
good.
food now. I was starving. Go ahead.
As far as the TLC itself, I think it might be a little controversial, and I've talked to some other people. I understand their concerns. I do really think that Spino is better than it's ever been. Yeah, it is a little bit slower. Actually, you know what? It might not be better than it's ever been. I think it's in a really good spot now that I think about it.
Okay.
I think one of the worst things they've done was take away Charge Bite from Spino. I think that was really raised the skill ceiling really high with Spino at the time, because you were able to fight multiple people that attacked you with that charge bite. I had some really great times and great fights with the charge by Spino. But I do think Spino has more versatility and build options than ever before. I think it has a ton of movement abilities, more than before. Like you have, obviously it's always had streamline, but you have a lunge now. You have a snapping, what is it called? The snapping bite. That's almost a form of movement now. You almost don't need as much movement anymore because you have a tail attack that does knockback. So you kind of can knock people back now and get them away from you, and do good damage. I don't know. I think the only thing that could make Spino better is if they added Charge Bite back, just for, a little extra versatility and options that you have for a kind of build. I know some people are upset the Spino is a little bit slower, but I think you have to look at it from a bigger picture. I think they're trying to balance them all together now with speed in the water. So I think it's too early to speak on the TLCs entirely until Sarco's TLC comes out, because then we can kind of judge them all together. No, I do think the TLC is great. I really like it. I think Spino is really fun to play now. Way more fun. I do have to say I do miss land speed Spino though. I do miss traction build on Spino. That's just me being me, but I don't think it's bad. Okay, so I've been hearing a lot of people screaming like monkeys in a barrel recently about apparently aquatic gameplay is ruined now. I want to get your guys' thoughts on that. And I'm especially curious about Germs because I know you play aquatics a lot. A lot of people in the aquatic community, quote unquote, that are not too happy with some of these TLCs and everything. So I guess let's start with Germs. What do you think?
I would say aquatic community for the competitive players are ruined, but for the average player, it is not. It's actually grown a lot. And here's why I would say it. Before the Spino TLC, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, before the Spino TLC, when Sarko lost his charge bite, I saw more Sarkos in the river than I would have if it still had its charge bite. And I can understand why. It's because nobody wants to play a game where they get killed in 2 hits on a Sarko, right? Especially when experienced players come and they just wipe the river off with a couple of them. And with crushing bite going away, those average players, or I wouldn't even call them average, I would just say like those players that doesn't play game a lot or aren't like studying the game or trying to get good at the game. They just want to enjoy the game. Those players are now feeling more comfortable coming out and playing in the aquatics, knowing that they're not going to get too shotted by some experienced players or experienced group, and they feel more engaged. Spinal TLC came out. Yes, we saw less Sarko, but that's normal for every TLC. When a TLC comes out, the whole map is filled with them, right? That's normal. But I think overall, though, I think the aquatic community is actually growing with the regular players and not the competitive players. Because I know competitive players, they like the competition, they like to strategize gameplay, they study it, they learn the stats, the damage outputs, how much can they take, how much they can't take. And I think now more players are playing more aquatics because they know that at least if an experienced player comes into the river, they won't die instantly, and they can at least put up a fight.
Can I just ask a question real quick? So why would you say
Yeah.
that for pro gameplay, for pro play, that aquatics, and let's, just for a second, let's kind of keep out, I know Sarko, I'm not happy with the state of Sarko right now at all. right? I understand it's pre TLC, and they kind of do this thing where they'll kind of like pre nerf things or pre change things. So like, given let's just take out Sarko just for this equation real quick.
Yes.
Why do you think that pro play is ruined and um general gameplay has improved for like Spino or Duck, if that's what
I
you're
was
getting
interested
at?
in that too.
Pro players are competitive playing is ruined because now I think the gameplay is a little more simpler. So let's use Spinal for example. Before Spinal had to require movements, being able to go around and tail ride, swing the head left and right. Um, all competitive Spinal players don't run tail attack; they run paddle tail because they can do that movement that glides sideways, downwards, and up. Well, now Spinals can't do that anymore. They can't do those movements. So you can just go directly to the spinal and hit them. You can try to swing your head left and right, but it's a lot slower. So you're not really gonna get that feel of the movement. So now it's more just go to the spinal, use the lunging snap or bite and claw. Yes, you can still go up and down, but the turning is so much slower now compared to the pre-spinal TLC. Lunging snap, use tail attack when they come near, get distance, come back, lunging snap. It's a little more simpler versus without the lunging snap and the tail attack, you go to the spinal and then you have to do like all these movements just to get behind the spinal to try to stay behind him, to try to tail ride him. And if you're not good with that, you're gonna get tail ride so hard you're gonna lose the fight very fast.
No,
Hmm.
that makes sense, and I think
Hmm.
I'm not gonna give my opinion at, but I'm just saying there is a difference between people need to understand this. There is a difference between pro play and normal gameplay for a lot of dinos in this game. Like, not everybody is, I don't want to say harsh, and not everybody's good. So, there's a reason why there's different tournaments for uh, players, and yeah, there's a certain skill gap on different dinos, especially aquatic gameplay. So, just to clarify that, so
What was the original question so I can sit on it for a minute?
um, there are some players that are concerned that aquatic gameplay has been ruined now. Um, and it's not as good as it used to be. Take away Sarko though. Let's kind of be fair with Sarko because it's not the TLC is not out yet, so we can't really judge. That might be an amazing TLC. So
I might have to sit on that a little bit longer. I don't play any semi-aquatic gameplay to really fucking come to a conclusion on that. Really,
Do things like if I would start with Sark, because I know you say you didn't want to keep Sark out of it, but I just want to get my piece on that because
oh, go
I'm
ahead.
one of the people who, yeah, I'm one of the people who actually am happy about that damn charge bite being gone. I've been here since the game was really early before charge bite, so I seen it go. I seen before charge, when the charge came. I've seen all the cycles. You know what I mean? All the weather changes. So, for me, I just felt like that was just too OP, man. Like it was fun to play with as a Sark. It was really hard addition to the game as anything else. Trying to get some water, getting hit by that is it ruins you. You know what I mean? Like I don't like the game to where something like that is so strong. I don't have a chance to fight back. Like if I'm Sarko and I'm hunting the edge, I'm waiting for something in the water or to snatch something, and then a Sarko sneak hits me with that first hit damage plus charge bite. When it comes to that kind of aspect, just alone, that bite being gone, water is a lot better for me just because it feels more fair. I don't know, some people are mad about that. I just like to have real brawls. Like they named it perfect when they said the brawler's back on Circle. I was like, yes, you got to fight just like everybody else. It bites like a dasp. Like bite that thing, move around. Like so that's just where I stand with that. Overall, I love the new abilities. Like we have so much to do now. Before it was really simple. You didn't have any backhands and you didn't have any water spouts and like with the new calls, I love it. It's in making all the dinos do a yell out call. before they fight, which is like, if you love dinos, that's like the movie. That's like, dino-esque. They're gonna yell out loud and they're gonna fight. You would hope players do that on their own, but now with those calls, it really brings it to life. So with the water side of it, a water spout, things that make you swim fast, move, whatever. Like, I think there's a lot more going on right now. So with that being said, that's my point of view from the small amount of aqua and semi I play, because I like to mix it up. So I don't want to be too, have too much of an opinion, because some real water players out there. But from the times I do play, I do see that it's a lot more to do. I guess from back in the day, you have options, and with the water maneuverability, like with the Conch TLC, you see it moves left to right. That weave, that's been working for me in fights. I've been dodging with that, so I'm happy with it. I can say I'm not gonna say it's the best or it doesn't need work, but at least I'm happy. My opinion.
Oh yeah, dude. I love that. I love that you gave a different perspective of that too, because not everybody spends 24 hours a day on Sarco in the water. Not everybody's a
Right.
24 hour a day kind of aquatic player, and it's good to get a perspective from somebody who doesn't, see what their lookout is on the game, because everybody's opinion matters. You know what I mean? It's not just about one group of players. And I'm not saying people are saying that, but
No, I get you.
it's good to have all kinds of opinions in there. While I'm not happy with some changes that they've made in terms of Spino or Sarco or whatever, which I can get a little bit into that. I'm not going to get too much, but I think overall, I think aquatic gameplay is better than it's almost ever been in terms of versatility. I mean, look at Suko, for example. Suko is better than it's ever been, without a shadow of a doubt, in my opinion, right? I mean, you got an incredible kit on Suko right now. It was actually, I don't know if it still is, but it was OP for a little bit there, especially with that backhand being spammable. And it does like incredible damage. But Suko gameplay is incredible right now with its kit. I think I don't want to speak too much on Sarco. I guess when it comes to the charge bite thing, I can see how that would be super annoying, and kind of OP to people. I do think that it kind of balanced itself out a little bit with being a glass cannon, what it used to be at least. And plus, it was kind of, in my opinion, it was kind of predictable because you did hear it. Like, it wasn't totally silent. But no, I definitely understand what you're saying there. Spino, I think Spino's amazing right now. Again, I wish there was a little bit more of like I said, I was a sucker for that land Spino, that land speed, because it was like, talk about tail riding, bro. I have some videos on my channel of when I used to play land Spino, and I could do like 2 or 3v1s, bro, with the way Spino used to be. Because there was so much versatility. You could put on traction, you have the land speed, you were able to use charge bite and normal bite. Well, not at the same time, but you had that option. So I'm a little disappointed they don't have that back in. But I think it's a step in the right direction, I think, as opposed to what it used to be more recently. You were kind of pigeonholed into, if you weren't running water Spino, you were kind of throwing. It was like the meta for Spino. And I like now that you have more options with Spino now. I think Duck is way better than it used to be, at least in my opinion. You have way more variety in your kit. It does bleed now, thank God. I mean, that's really cool. I think it's really nice that Duck does bleed. I'm not a Duck main, though, so I can't speak for somebody who spends day and night on a Duck. I mean, they might think Duck is worse. Just in my opinion. I mean, it has a lunge now. Especially with the meta right now with healing. With Duck, I mean, you could keep a Spino in combat with bleed and they can't heal, and you can. I mean, I don't think people realize how big of a change the healing has become now in combat. I mean, that was a huge change to this game, especially with anything, like I said before, anything that does bleed is kind of meta right now, because you have that advantage to where you could stop things from healing. But that's a whole nother thing. I don't think aquatic gameplay was ruined. I think it's a step in the right direction. Of course, there are certain things that can be changed and be done better. But I'm hopeful for the future. Another topic people were bringing up a lot. I see a lot of videos on this. People are saying that apexes are nerfed too far, and they're kind of ruined right now. We could start with Boogie because you didn't really answer the last one. But what do you think about the state of apexes in the game right now?
I know Rex gets a lot of flack recently, but I don't think people have played him enough to realize how much it improved just with that, like, the turn speed buff that they gave it. You know, not so much the precise turn, but being able to like actually chase things down. And it's got the kit for it. It's got that ambush ability or whatever. It's got the padded feet, and like ambushing things on it has never been easier. I think the changes to clamp sort of made it a little bit worse, but that affects more than just Rex. Obviously, Hats and Arco got the effects from that too. That things can buck like out of your mouth a lot faster before you can kill it. But that little turning on Rex has been like a big change and almost sort of what it needed. Even though it lost like, I don't know, what, 300 health or 200 health or something like that, it's still like very viable. I think Titan, even though they nerfed Titan a bit today or yesterday, there was no reason for Titan to do like Rex level damage plus add bleed on top of it, because it was just sort of outperforming everything. I think now, you know, Titan's, you know, a decent bleeder, right? And doesn't need to do those Rex level damage. And I mean, Bars as well is in a good spot. He got a good kit. Like as a defensive dino, even that's one dino that you can hold up and fight a group with, right? If you play it right. And I think that's almost what Apexes should be able to do. Like they should be able to hold their own. And in the last like few months, like you saw Rex, you on your conch or your packy would be like, okay, it'll be a little bit of a long fight, but at least it's a free trophy. But those turn buffs, like, they changed the game for me, and I've been on Rex a lot.
My main thing has been Rex, but he hit it on a different point of view, because him saying that he's been on Rex a lot lately, that kind of like changed his mind, because I mean, I haven't played it too much, but from what I've seen, I really do want Rex to be a lot better. You know, like Rex is supposed to be that dino. You know, when he's out there, it should be a good fight for him to take on like 4 conchs. You know, I don't know if that's just my idea of the Rex or not, but I feel like that would be ideal for what we ate for the Apex, and also for pack players. You know, because when we pack up, we like to take things down. We aiming for the heaviest thing when I'm packed up. You know, so I want a good fight out of that. You know, I want it to last. I want it to feel good. I don't want to feel like we just destroyed the Rex so easy, and I don't even want to record it. You know, so as far as the Apex, maybe I could say my overall opinion would be a little stronger. Like Bars is really strong right now. I don't even know. I've fought Bars a lot. I haven't got to play it a lot after this TLC, but it's been feeling strong, bro. It's taking me a lot to take one down. So anywhere like that. Like my biggest thing with Rex would be that movement, like everybody's talking about. I can go ahead and address that on mine too. Boog touched a little bit on it, but just being able to move left or right, maybe a left or right attack, or I can bite to the right real quick. It doesn't have to be permanent, like make him turn in a circle amazingly, you know, that's fine. But something just to help it out. Just it needs something. He said it just right too. Like they did great, but it got left behind on this TLC. Like they went all out. Spino, Conk, we have nothing bad to say about it. But Rex is like, you know, and it shouldn't be like that for me. So other than that, I think the idea of Titan, yes, making sure that power is less than Rex, because Titan's really strong, it's fast. Keeping it a bleeder, I love that, but there should be a clear difference between Rex and Titan. EO could use a little bit of love. I haven't seen too much EO, but I guess the overall sentiment could be just, I think Apex it'll do justice to the game, with just all Apex a little bit stronger, a little bit harder to fight.
Yeah, I've said it in the past, like a left to right bite, like a 90-degree bite to the right or left.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know if it would make Rex too strong, like make it cost stamina or something, but
Right.
Like people would like dinos should second guess whether they want to fight an apex, right? And something like
Right.
that would be like, high risk, high reward, damage on the tail attacks. What a big difference. They should have never taken that away.
I think for the Apexes, I think they nerfed it where it's harder for a solo Apex to enjoy the game as an Apex player. So running a Rex, so let's use Rex as an example since we were talking about it. If you run Rex, it's much harder to enjoy it when you encounter groups. And because, the turning isn't the greatest, it doesn't have AoE, it doesn't have things that can support it when it fights more than one or two, like 2 or 3 players. But I think the nerf they did was an answer to mega packs as apexes. Groups that roam the map with apexes, I think with the nerfing of the health, it makes it easier for other players to pick on specific or target specific apexes and have a chance. And I think also like with the other apexes with the higher cooldown, it's horrible for solo players, who are fighting groups. Yes, they did get a 10% armor passive buff. And I think that was an answer to, okay, you guys are having issues with mega packs, people who are packing a lot, but they are not running smaller dinos to fit the group size. They're just running apexes. And I think lowering the health allows smaller groups to have more opportunities to fight against those groups. Eldrin wants to promote different carnivores working, or not carnivores, different species working together. So, for example, a Rex struggles to get some kills because if they bone break something and tail knockback knocks them away, they kind of lose the kill, right? But they want to promote, okay, play a different carnivore to support the Rex. And I think that's why they have group slots and they allow carnivores to group together even though they're different species. Same thing with herbivores. They want players to find a good combination that they enjoy playing, that they can bring to the battle instead of running the same species. Because Half a Titan is running an MMO survival game. So they want other players to find the best combination to work together. That's why they have abilities that can buff each other, even though if they're different species. That's why they have healers, which is Metries, Lamb, which is healer for herbs. So I think they're really looking for like roles, like support, tanks, DPS, and you find those in MMO games, like fantasy games, and you group together and you go on an adventure together. And I think that's what Eldrin is pushing for is if you're struggling, then find a different dino that can support you, like an Alio. Maybe they can go in and finish the job for you if you can't get it, as long as you damage it enough.
For me, I just want to mention how monumental of a change healing through combat was. And that was actually a buff for apexes in an indirect way. Because no longer can little raptors chip at you and chip at you and chip at you and keep you in combat to where you can't heal and you're just fighting until your health is gone. Now you can heal through combat as an apex, right? Obviously given that you're not full bleed or something. You can heal in combat, so long drawn out fights are actually they're beneficial to you as an apex now. Because you can heal that chip damage pretty... I had a fight the other day at GV. My cousin was on Titan and I was on Rex. And we were attacked by a couple Pycnos, Megs. But, they couldn't... We just kept healing up. Because they can't do enough damage in time. And, without themselves getting low to the point where... they weren't killing us and we ended up killing a couple of them. We didn't die. So I think a healing in combat was a huge buff to Apexes in an indirect way, especially Titan. If you're running a healing build on Titan right now, you're kind of just better than almost any Apex. As regards to their combat weight and health lowering, I think the healing through combat kind of, I don't know if it balances it out fully, but at least helps. I think the tail attack damage was an insane. That was a great thing. The way it used to be, you should be afraid to be attacked or to attack an Apex as a Packy. You shouldn't be able to just continuously hit it, tail right it, and it only knocks you back. It does no damage. I don't think that was balanced at all. I think that was a horrible mistake that the devs have made. I think adding tail attack damage again, you should be able. I mean, you think about it. You're getting hit by a tree-sized tail from an Apex. As a little tiny dinosaur, you should be getting hurt, right? That shouldn't be something you should be able to walk away from and then just continuously damage them. So I think that was a great thing. I think the healing on combat was a great thing. I think these are steps in the right direction. Is it where it needs to be completely right now? I don't know. Probably not. I think Rex could do with a little bit more of a turning buff as far as precise movement. I think that was really what it needed more than just a regular turning. Because I do miss Rex's old precise turning was actually very good. I think it should go back to that. But that's just my opinion on that. I don't know if Apexes are ruined right now. I don't think they're ruined. I think maybe they can... There is an argument there where you could buff them up a little bit more. I do think there's a conversation to be had there.
I was just gonna say, OG Rex was super powerful back then. With the defense height and everything, it could tank so many dinos. It can kill so many dinos back then. And I think if we had those Rex now, I can see many people just running Rexes and just killing everything. So I do find that they're trying to balance it out where they want mid tiers and lower dinos to still have a chance. I would prefer if Apex are extremely strong, like the Isles, where they can one shot little things. But I think that's where Path is different from others, is that they are trying to make it more like a group game.
Yeah, I like the whole hero shooter kind of reference you made there. I think it is true. There are tanks, there are healers, supports, and DPS in this game. And I actually, in my opinion, I do like that. I like the different class systems. I like the different counterplay. That's just for me. I mean, I love hero shooters. I love the kind of rock, paper, scissor kind of gameplay for most things. So, yeah, that's just me, though. So, a lot of people... Okay, I don't know if you guys saw, but recently, Matt was going crazy in the Discord. I mean, he was replying to a bunch of people. There are a lot of people arguing. There's a lot of discussion going on about matchmaking, about mix packing, mega packs, all that jazz. So we're kind of gonna dive into that a little bit here. Obviously, Matt was talking about they're gonna be changing matchmaking in this game. But essentially what he was saying is that you're gonna have to create a group. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're gonna have to create a group in the menu. So you could join off of your friends, and it's kind of like you can only join within a certain slot limit, right? 12. To kind of combat the whole mega pack Discord group kind of thing. I mean, what are you guys... Did you guys hear about that too? Crazy, did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about it. Somebody sent it to me in a screenshot. I was like, what the hell? Like, my first reaction was wild, bro. Like, I get it, you know what I mean? We've all been talking about trying to fix this game and how it could be fixed with this official player, you know what I mean? I'm like, I am kind of shocked, bro. So all the emotions put together, I guess my feedback would be, I'm very interested, to see what happens. I mean, it's sad to make this realization that the mix packing actually ruined the game officially because now we have to go through all these measures rather than doing something in game like, home killing debuff for mix packing or something of the sort that a lot of people have said. Like I've always wanted that. Like if a herbivore is around a carnivore too long, maybe it's some kind of intimidation where now your abilities are weaker and you need to get away or fight or something. Like, you can't just hang out with a carnivore. I don't think that was too hard of a concept, because what I saw in the messages looks hard. Like it looks crazy. Just to play with friends, it takes a lot, and there's a part in there where it's like if you have to play on the same dyno, you have to be consistent. I like that part. Like even when I'm playing, I'm usually dedicated to one dyno unless I want to switch later. So when I fight people and they switch out of that dyno, you guys have the same problem watching all your videos. They want to switch mid fight, come back healthy. You're still in that fight health. You're halfway down. Now they're ready to kill you and brag about it. Like, okay, that's gone. With that new addition. So that's kind of nice. We can fight it out. You die, you die. You gotta live up to your fights now. So let's try to, as a community, talk about it so that we can work towards the best possibilities. Because I know they're going to be open to hearing what we think, and I think we go from there. But as long as they're making some kind of effort to change it, I'm okay. I guess I'm willing to ride it out and see what it's like.
I agree. I think it's a welcome change. Um, I mean, they want officials to be lawless. They don't have like the people or the resources to moderate it. So it's like they just want to have it on and then let it run itself, but at the same time try to appease all the players, right? And I think over the course of the last couple of years, at least since I've been playing like Discord groups, not mix packing in general, because I'm on board. If you guys have watched my videos, we're not always the same dino. It's just sort of whatever flavor people are craving, we'll play. Like if you fight pretty much like 5 of anything, you're probably gonna get beat up, right? Whether it's 3 Alios and 2 Kentros or just 5 Kentros. I mean, you're probably gonna lose that fight regardless. But like the mega packs, who makes solo play almost impossible, without like obviously sticking to the bushes, keeping yourself in some less popular POIs, because everyone wants some interaction while playing, right? Like you still want to come across people, you still want to build those friendships and all that, but now if you see someone out in the wild, for the most part, like they'll follow you for a little bit until their buddies come, and then you're just fighting however many dinos it takes, and then catching all the L's in global that they like to send you. But I'm on board. Like if you want to play with 6 friends, you got to be on 6 2-slot dinos to fit that 12 slot limit, right? And they're saying as long as you're the same diet, not necessarily the same dino, right, you can still play with each other. Revenge killing, right? That's annoying as hell. Toby, we were on a couple weeks ago. We were on 3 Albertas, and we were fighting 3 Rexes, a Spino, and 2 hats. And both of those hats died 4 times each, and came back every single time within 2 or 3 minutes until
they killed us.
they would land. Yeah, hit us with a couple of barrages, die, come back, hit us with a couple barrages, die, and then after 15 minutes of them doing that, they ended up killing us.
Yeah.
Right, which is bonkers. And that matchmaking is gonna remedy revenge killing like 100%, which I think is a big problem on officials. And I'm okay with it. There's gonna be solo servers anyways. Like if you want to queue into a solo server, you queue into a solo server. You build your friendships there. If you want to group up with someone, you meet. I think it's gonna make some people angry, but like Path as a whole, it has something for everyone. If you want to play on a community server with mods that has rules and dino profiles, it has that. If you want to play lawless and be a bunch of degenerates like us running around officials doing whatever you want, on whatever you want, whenever you want to, you could do that too.
I was just gonna say I agree I think the new matchmaking system will have a lot of players leave the game because, like Loki says, you have to go through all these trouble just to join your friend. And then if you want to switch dinos, then you have to leave the server, pick a dino, and then enter a server. And I think that will help like dino switching. It will help deal with the plans in the Discord group, and I think one of the I guess you could say like it's kind of hard for me to visualize it until it actually goes into effect because there is a thing called server hopping, and you can server hop until all you guys are in the server. So you can still find a way, but I don't know how they're going to combat that. And yeah, it's kind of hard for me to visualize how they would actually implement that. But if what they say is true, where you have to pick a dino, you have to play that dino through your session. If you want to switch dinos, you have to leave that server, switch a dino, and then go back into a new server. That will help with dino switching. That will help with a lot of players who wants to enjoy the gameplay instead of having to worry about dealing with 10 plus people. And like Boogeyman said, there's a community server for everybody. If you enjoy big group fights, there's death matches. There's all these things that you can join, and all your friends can join in it, and you guys can kill as many people as you want. You know, there's realism server where you can play based off your dino profile. There's semi-realism, and then there's official lawlessness where you can do whatever you want. I think it's a good move on Aldrin's choice, but how they are going to implement it, I'll have to wait and see until it actually goes into effect. It's gonna be horrible for those groups that likes to run 10 plus people, 7 plus people, but it's not bad if they all run Leon or Dionykins, right? They can run those guys and they can still have a good time. But if they all want to hop in and all run on mid tier or sub apex or all apex, then it's gonna prevent them from doing so.
Okay, so
Yeah.
all right, so this is what I feel about it. Okay, for one, I think it's way okay. There's a lot of people that are like jumping up and down out of their seats, screaming, crying all over the Discord, blah blah blah. It's way too early to like shed so much judgment on it because we don't know exactly what it's gonna be like. So it's like if they're making any steps into stopping these mega Discord groups, I mean, okay, so the other day I was in GP and we were on a couple mirror guys, and there was, I shit you not, 20, maybe a group of 20 people at GP all together, and they were killing everything in the way so that they can have their own little Discord war together for aquatics versus non-aquatic apexes. I'm sorry, but I don't think that's healthy for the game. I mean, imagine being a first-time player and having to deal with that stuff. I mean, you're gonna put the game down immediately. I mean, I know I would. Thankfully, I've been playing a little while, so I know what to expect. But to somebody who's brand new, I don't think these. We need new players in the game. You know what I mean? This game is not just for the community that's here already. I mean, we need more people to continue playing so the game can survive, right? So I think anything to combat the mega Discord groups and the revenge killing and the toxic server hopping to find people, and I know I'm victim of it. I've had people server hop to find me in servers to kill me for clips and stuff. I mean, you guys know how annoying that can be. That stuff needs to stop. You know, I don't think that's. I'm all for the lawlessness, right? I'm all for the chaos, and the group fights to a certain degree, but like it comes to the point where it's like you shouldn't be able to just fly back indefinitely until you kill who you want to kill, or pull up with an extra 10 people to finish your fight. I just don't think that's good game design. And whether this is going to be a mistake, I don't know yet. It could be a mistake the way they implement it, but any step in the right direction, I'm happy for. At the end of the day, we want new people to play this game, especially as a developer. You want the player count to continue to rise. You want loads of new people to join. You're not going to have that if the game is just taken over by these Discord groups. I mean, you're just going to have a cesspool of the same people until they get bored, and then, I mean, the cycle repeats. So,
I guess for that situation for Tobe and Boog, you guys were referring to. So when I was thinking about like the problems, when I was just going over it and reflecting, one problem was that people were switching dinos, and we're trying to stop them from dying or almost dying and coming back at something else. That hats problem you guys had was a little more unique, and I'm wondering like the hats is getting back there from just flying back every time, or are they being waste on? Because if they're just flying back, right, what can we do to counter something like that? Because that is a tough situation if I'm a new player. So like, yeah, that's a tough one for me. I'm like, ooh, how do you fix that?
No waystones. They literally were just able to fly back from where they died within, I should, dude, like 2 minutes, bro.
How can we even fix that? Like, because I'm thinking right now, what comes to mind is like, do we need more hiding spots, so that you guys can actually, like, it goes back to Germ's point, like making it a survival game over a fighting game, like, could we survive by hiding? The big logs from Pandora are not in Gonwa. How do we get away from a hats? You know what I mean? Like,
in my opinion, you have to deal with the root cause, right? Like, you could throw a lot of things like logs and caves and stuff, but they're kind of like band-aids, right? It doesn't actually stop the hats from doing what it's doing and being able to just fly back indefinitely. I think what you have to do, and I've kind of brought this up before, but for hats, well, really hats is the main problem, but I think there should be a death timer, man. Like, especially on hats. Like, when you die, you have to get on a different dino on hats. Otherwise, I mean, if you get spawned close at all on hats, I mean, you're back within 60 seconds or less. So, I don't think, like, and I get it, like, oh, what if you only have hats grown? Well, I mean, there's like 30 dinos in this game, bro. You need to have more than one. You need to have more than hats.
Yeah.
But if you could put hats on
it's your
like,
problem.
if you could put hats on like a 5-minute timer when they die, where you can only get on other dinos, I think that would help at least a little bit. And I know a lot of people won't like that, but I mean, would you rather have that or just hats just coming back in waves like Call of Duty Zombies? I just don't.
Right.
I don't find that enjoyable, in my opinion.
Right, exactly. And I think that's fair because, like, the counter game, the Isle, if you die, your dino's back to a baby. So you can't come attack somebody back. No revenge killing when you got to start all over. So if you have a death timer, yeah, if you die on that dino, a safe punishment, you can't come back on that dino in that server, like death timer. I like that. That's actually, to me, that's the first time I've heard something actually going in the right direction like that. So I'm like, oh.
Well, I wouldn't know what else to do. That's the thing, because it's like, I don't think they were right with nerfing hats the way they did. I don't think they needed to nerf the hunger or the stam or anything like that. You could literally, all you have to do is put a death timer on flying dinos like that, especially with how strong hats is. Like, you don't need to nerf it to make it unplayable. That's not the problem,
What if to make it fair, they put the death timer on every dino?
Yeah, you could do that too, but the hats has that unique problem, though. You know what I mean? You can't fly back on a Rex if you spawn across the other side of the map, right? So I don't think it's as big of an issue for other dinos because it takes a long time if you're not a flyer.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. I mean, what are you, Germs?
Right, and I only bring that up too. Just the last thing to say, I only bring that up because it's like hats lovers, for instance, like. Okay, Rex is fair to say, it's not going to get there as fast, But if I play Rex and die, I could play my Rex again. Where if I'm a hats lover, I can't even jump on my hats now. So
Yeah,
that's where
yeah.
I think there's gonna. Yeah, I'm worried. I don't care for that. That's not my sentiment, but I am worried that would be a thing. So just to bring that up, I thought you answered it great, bro. But that's just my last thoughts on it. Yeah, like you said, Germs, Boog, if you guys have something to say, cool, cool.
I would say the dev timer. I think the dev timer would help, but at the same time, I feel like it wouldn't be fair for the hats players. I know it's a unique problem because hats can just cross the whole map without having to go through terrains. But then if they have to switch, that would mean they would have to leave the server and rejoin a different server. So maybe if they did like if you die, then you have to. It's really a tough topic, right? Because revenge killing is so common, and most of the time, I think people are more people will revenge kill if somebody says L or trash this dino or whatever. If they write something to that player that they just if they can get rid of global chats, I think people will treat it more like an actual. Okay, I lost wherever I'm at. That's where I'm gonna hunt in the area. I don't have to fly across the whole map specifically for just one dino. 'Cause that's kind of how I treat it. Like if I get jumped by like 7 people, which So the other day I was trying out the Rex again on officials, see how it did. I killed the Serato, I killed the Das, I got the Titan low, and then all of a sudden 4 other dinos just came out of nowhere and they jumped me and I died. Of course, Rex health got nerfed and it doesn't do that well against a pack of dinos. Well, I died and nobody wrote anything on global. Not saying like if they did, I would have done something, but I just treated like, okay, well I died wherever I'm at, that's what I'm gonna play at. I know hats can fly across the map, but if they remove that what's the word I'm looking for? If they remove global chat, where people would not trigger other players to be like, you know what? I don't like what he said. I'm gonna go back after him, or I'm gonna go in and do this and do that. If they can just remove that and just treat it like, okay, you die, just move on. Nobody has to say anything bad. Nobody has to make you feel like that you need to prove a point. I think removing global chat would help. Like you start as a new player, you play a baby dino and you die, you can't play for 10 minutes. I would just drop the game there and be like, okay, I'm done with this game. I'm doing something else. I want my refund back. That's what I would have done.
It really is the only dino that can fly back across the map within 2 minutes of dying, and it does it's not like Thal or
And do
Ramp.
damage.
It does hell of
Right.
damage, bro, and you have an instant kill clamp. Like, it really is like...
Yeah,
but there's
it's
really
very
almost...
powerful.
There's only so much you can do. That's the thing. It's a sticky... It's like a very... It's a tricky situation, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to be unfair, but it's like, really... It's the only one that can do that, you know what I mean? So... And then... I will agree... I will agree with the global chat thing. I do think global chat should be removed. But I will say... And I don't mean to cut you off, but I will say that... for global chat, you're really, like your point before, you're kind of just, you're hoping that they won't do that because you didn't say anything in global. But there's a lot of people who revenge kill or fly back, especially hats, even if you don't say anything. You know what I mean?
Just because they're salty.
Like, just because. So, like, at that point, you're not removing their ability to do that. It's just like another in my opinion, it's just like another Band-Aid fix for that situation, you know what I mean? You can't just count on them being a good person. So that's just the way I feel about it, you know what I mean?
Do you think that maybe they play the game and then they encounter those interactions and it's like kind of conditioning them where, let's say like they like so let's say like so let's use Discord group as an example. So they usually play solo. They go around, they get jumped, they die. Okay, it's normal, it's part of the game. And they encounter a mixed pack and they die, and they're like, oh, I'm getting a little frustrated. I don't really like this herb and carnivore grouping. And then they find a pack of aloes and they die again. And then they get to the point where they're like, you know what? I'm gonna form my own group and be the biggest that I can be, so I don't have to experience this, and I'm gonna go and take it on other people.
I think what it's boiled down to a lot recently is people have gotten to the point of where they feel like if you can't beat them, join them. And I think some solos and duos got killed maybe one too many times where they felt it almost necessary to join a group, like for protection, right? And then they start getting dragged into those same things that made them join a group in the first place, and they just become part of the problem, I guess, right?
Craze and I are dying right now.
Yeah, we started out,
Um,
bro.
Craze is
Trying to
about to
find
die.
something.
If you want me to make the ultimate sacrifice, I'll throw myself off this cliff. And you both can
No,
eat till you're
definitely
full.
No,
not.
no.
We're at SLL right now. We should have some food here or something.
I was just gonna go back to the matchmaking topic. Elder might not execute it the way that some of the players think that would be good. Turns out it's not good, so they might just try it, go through a phase, and be like, it didn't really do that well. Let's just remove it. It can always be removed because the game is in early access.
There's a critter here.
Don't worry about me. Do not worry about me,
No,
guys.
but I ain't gonna let you die, bro.
Thank you.
Oh
I
my
can't believe
god.
this shit.
You have no
I
help.
didn't want to mess up the convo, but I was over here like, man, there's nothing. We ran around like 3 cities too.
I got
Uh-oh.
food on me.
Lookie's on it. I'm on it. Oh.
He has 0 help. No!
Damn!
Right at the
He
body.
was right at the
Right at
body!
it, bro. That's crazy. Damn. Sorry, germs, bro.
Alright, while we're going to Waystone, final question. What would you guys like to see added to the game or improved? Like, any type of content, or what do you think would help the game survive? Like game modes, anything?
Game modes will be good. As long as they like offer specific rewards, like it would be cool to get like unique skins through game modes or stuff like that. I'm also excited to see the metric system if it ever makes its way into the game. I'd like to see how many times I've died to fall damage, for example, or how many things I've killed on my Rex, or even just like how many kilometers you've walked
Right.
on either map, right? I think that's pretty cool, and then maybe they give you some rewards based on that too. Like, I'm not talking about a gold skin or anything, but some incentive to do something other than the gameplay loop now, where you just log in with your buddies, walk around in circles until you find stuff to fight.
I think for me, I think to make this game, Elder needs to find what kind of game they want Path of Titan to be. If they want Path of Titan to be a fantasy MMO adventure type of game, then they have to build a game around that. If they want it to be a dinosaur survival type of game, then they have to remove roles of the dinosaurs and make the dinosaurs what they're supposed to be like remove Metri's healing. I know a lot of people might not like that, but remove Metri's healing, remove Lamb's healing, and make them unique dinosaurs for their own species. Make them unique. So when people play them, they play the Metris for the Metris. They play the Lambio for the Lambio. And then I know they want to add like endless um content. During the end game, people can do a lot more things. And I was thinking maybe they can add. There's so many things they can do, right? But if they want to go MMO, where it's kind of like fantasy adventure. Let's go and do things together as a group or solo. And they gotta add AI bosses, area bosses, more ways to make your own dinosaur unique aside from skins. They have the system to change attributes like stats, like increased health. You can set this command and change your dino stats. They have those system in place. They can allow people to increase more health, more damage, whatever, make them more unique where you're not identical to the dinosaur that you're with if they're taking the MMO approach. I think overall though, Path just needs Eldrin just needs to figure out what kind of game Path of Titan is going to become at the end. Because when I first started this game, I thought it was just a dino survival game. You know, I grew my spinal, roam around the map, did dinosaur things, but I learned I had to collect acorns and flowers to grow. It was a big turnoff, but I just, ignored that and just did it and grew. And now it's become like a normal thing. But once they figure out what they want, I think they will finally get the right audience that they're trying to go for, and the game will stay alive very long. When you play the Isles, you know you're playing a dinosaur that are not gonna have whirlpool attack, whirlwind attack. You're not gonna go heal each other. You're gonna play a dinosaur that is somewhat like a dinosaur. And then Beast of Bermuda, I apologize if I butchered the name, but it's more like a MMO where you can change the dinosaur stats through a grid system. You can upgrade it, change it to your liking. Dinosaur grows forever. So that's why they have a community for those games.
Dude, imagine how fun that would be doing like you said, group bosses or going through raids as an herbivore, like fighting waves of carnies attacking you, stuff like that. That could be a blast for sure.
Some things I think about when I think about what they could add to this game to make it better for me. Definitely just more to start. I would say I definitely want more dino like situation. I mean, like attributes. Like I just want to be able to like dig. I want to be able to live in nature a little bit more. You know what I mean? Maybe we could bury bones. And I know that they're thinking about changing up the whole questing system, and that's exactly like some of the stuff I saw online was right along the lines of what I want. Like I always imagine like as a young dino, there's like tree trunks you can knock down, to practice attacking attackable elements in the game that you're training on as a dino. You know what I mean? Those kind of things that make you really, because like I feel like this game is so in depth. Like it's the beauty of it. You're in nature, drinking, eating. You know what I mean? Like to really add effects like that will keep me like in Discovery Channel mode rather than just fight mode. So I just want to feel like a dinosaur a little bit more. Another thing I thought about is like adult level. Like we talked about that a little bit earlier in this combo, but there's nothing going on after adult. So I'm really like I like ideas of like if there's an elder thing like we talked about. I like to get a little buff, like as much as you walk around with keeping up the stats, maybe some muscle definition for the more work you put in as an adult, things like that to bring it to life. I mean, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas did that. You could work out and get bigger, like I think the dino getting swole as an adult, not exactly that. That's like more of a comedic way for me to describe it to you guys, but some sort of aspect of being an adult, the life you live as an adult affects what you turn into, as your elder stage. Like you working out, are you running around, are you fighting, are you a great fighter? Can you gain some notoriety, like where dinos know that you killed a lot, like how scars give you that, oh okay, you've been fighting. Maybe there's some kind of effect that can happen. That would just be cool, something along the lines. I don't want to give the ideas because it's not exact, but I want them to play. I wish there was some way to play with that adult level more. But bringing dinos to life, something past adult, more things to do, and changing up these quests. Germ said it perfect. I think I finally got used to the flowers, but it was a definite turn off. Like playing this game, I found a dinosaur game after years and was like, all right, okay, you have to grow to what? Like that didn't make sense. So, and a lot of people I bring into this game said the same thing. So
Yeah, we got some great answers here. I love all the points you guys brought up. I think for me, what I want to see out of this game in the future. For one, I don't actually, you know what? I don't know if this game has the audience for it, but I want Twitch drops, bro. I
Oh, I
want,
was about to bring that up.
yeah, I want like, maybe if people watch us on Twitch, we can be like, they can get like free, like, Twitch colored skin. I don't know, something.
Yes,
It needs
something,
something in
man. Yes.
content with that. Because I was just I was playing Marvel Rivals and they have, you can get Twitch drop skins and everything. I think that would be a really good idea for Path of Titans.
Some
Like I
kind of
said,
content creator support, right? Like I was gonna bring that up to you
yeah,
guys too. Like they don't
yeah,
support
dude.
us at all. Like other games have, they promote their YouTubers, bro. At least show us some
Um,
love. That's what I feel like the least, especially with other games doing it. So
yeah,
that's my piece
yeah.
on that too.
So maybe one's like I said, a little silly note with Twitch drops would be nice. I think those, I think they're doing in the right direction with the skin packs. But I want to see more, man. I want to see a skin pack every month. Whether it's
Hmm.
circulating like the same ones, which I hope it's not. But,
Right.
I mean, I feel
At
like
the least.
I don't know how hard it is to do. Obviously, I'm not a game developer, but I feel like putting a new skin pack every month or so is not that hard. I don't know. Just get some, maybe some solid colors in there. Like just, I mean, there's a lot they can do with that, or some kind of cosmetic packs. Like you guys are bringing up cosmetic for your dinos. Maybe there's like a battle damage cosmetic pack for different dinos you can get, or like slightly different, not stat changes, so it's not pay to win, but like
It's like a
different
broken jaw on
subspecies.
your aloe.
Yeah, a broken jaw on your aloe, or like
Crazy.
this one is like you can get the Purosuchus subspecies for Sarco. Obviously, it doesn't do anything; it's just cosmetic. But I think that would be a really good direction for the game. You're gonna get support to the devs by paying for the packs, and it, everybody wants that kind of stuff. You know, at least I do. Um, I want to see big AI dinos. I know that the plans are to have those anyway, but that would be really fun to have. I do agree with Germs. I think these guys need to figure out what the hell this game is, bro, cause it's kind of all over the place, with what it's trying to be, which is, I know it's still a beta. I'm glad that they're doing all the TLCs. I'm glad that they're balancing everything. At least they're listening to the community at least somewhat. That's a really good sign because there's a lot of developers that don't do that at all. I don't know. I want more dinos, bro. Like the TLCs are great, but I want more. I want more dinos. And I know around 30 is a lot, but it starts to get stale because a lot of them feel similar too. Uh, I think anything that'll make the game more diverse in regards of dinos is going to be a good thing. So I'm excited for the future. I hope they stay in a good track. So I don't know if you guys have anything to add to that. Any closing thoughts? Anything?
I can add that we do need some more dinos. I can agree with that. I mean, 30 sounds like a lot on paper. When you've been playing it for a while, you see the same old things. There's only one water herb. I think I've been saying that in my stuff. Like, yo, I have a problem with that. Duck can't be alone like that. We need more support out there for the duck. What else?
I saw this one video, and he forgot who it was again, but he made a lot of good points about some minor changes that can help improve gameplay. Customization of the HUD. That's very easy. Mobile can do that. Why can't PC or PlayStation do that, or other Xbox and Switch? Move the HUD around the way you feel more comfortable. You can see the game better. More indicators to help if you're activating, deactivating, whatever you're doing to help you understand the game a little better as a new player. I, I think the biggest one is map. Map is the biggest one. You know, it because so let's use Impact Crater and Grand Point as an example. When Impact Crater had water, everybody was there. All right, it was open. Everybody was there. Easy quests, resource was there, fights was there. They removed that and they updated Grand Plains. Now everybody migrates to Grand Plains. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing that players like to be in new area that still provide the resource needed. So water and food, right? Because this game requires you to eat and drink to stay alive too. So I think if they would just change the map in a way where it requires players to travel in a specific way that will allow other areas to be meaningful to be there. So I think what the devs could do is take that data and said, why is this area so popular and why does players come here all the time? Why don't we make something that is similar to this, where it's allows players to engage in these kind of POI, players can spread out more. So I think a optimization of the map that players love being in this POI and spread that resources or that data to the whole map to allow players to have a reason to be in these other areas.
For Pandora, bro, like bringing the map down, adding like the water. See, because they said they're going to do this TLC, yes, like they said, but adding that water, adding more, and shrinking it, bringing everybody in more, using those wastelands and just combining them into maybe a bigger space for the popular spots. And like you said, losing the data, bro, from watching like, okay, GP is the perfect place then, right? If you make Sharptooth the same as GP, that could easily be a secondary place. Now, no more waste. Make it freshwater. I don't know if they don't want to do that. Whatever the reason is, they want it to be saltwater so bad. Okay, if you change that, that's so much more space that opens up. And then, like you said, like making that POI, like GP, spreading that same energy throughout the map so that no matter where you go, it's fire. It's a perfect environment. People are going to be attracted to hang out there, and the map is more fulfilled. Like, so I don't know, you got me hyped saying that because that's exactly what I've been thinking. Like, it's so easy to fix Pandora by shrinking it and adding water, making places livable and playable. Those little things will change everything to me. So
Everybody is, well, I was just gonna say everybody is spread out on Pangea. It doesn't have the same problem, in my opinion, that Gondwa has, where it's just GV or GP. Like, I mean, I've had times where it's so even today, it's like you go almost anywhere on Pangea, you're gonna find people, right? So what is it that there is on Pangea that there's not on Gondwa that makes people spread out, right? So for me, I think it's because there's so much water drinkable everywhere, right? I think that's
I
one of
agree.
the main things.
No, I agree because like the only time you don't find people are the empty spaces that takes you to the other location. That's the only time you don't find people. So let's say if you're on LBM and you go to let's say like Grassland Lake. I think that's what it's called, right? Grassland Lake. You go over there, you don't find anybody until you hit that POI. But when you go there, it's like, oh, I get why people hang out here because it's an open spot. It's really nice. And then you have LBM. Why do people go there? Because it's connected straight to the big lake, and it's really nice. GV's nice, open land. You have interaction there. Hunter thickets. It's nice, but it's starting to die off. Savannah grassland. It's nice, but people only go there because the waystone's there now. So
I don't mean to change the subject, but can we just acknowledge, Boogie, how that Spino just armor calls for 1 a kilo and a baby a kilo? This has turned out to be a really good video. I appreciate you guys stopping in, those that are watching, and I thank you guys for joining in the voice chat. It's good to see you guys again, or hear you guys. That's all we got for today, guys. Oh, uh-oh.
wow, look who shows up at the end.
Right
Where
at
was
the
this guy
outro, bro.
2 hours
What's going
ago.
on, guys?
Yeah,
Right
come
at the
on,
end,
dude.
Bro.
What's
What
up, man?
BNB? That's too funny.
Oh,
Still
man.
by and see what you guys are doing.
I can't end the video now, bro.
Yeah, run it back.
Run it-
Yeah, from the top.
Yeah, from the
Oh
top.
yeah, this is the teaser for part 2, right at the end.
Yeah, we'll have one just with
Hello,
you.
YouTube video.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for watching. We had a big star just come into our chat right now, NV Gun. So everybody say hi to NV Gun. Thank him for coming in for the last 2 seconds of the video. But I hope you guys enjoyed everything we talked about. A lot of
Yes, sir.
slightly controversial and important things about the game. And I hope to do more videos like this. I think this was fun. I enjoyed this talk we had. So, all right, guys,
Yeah,
if you want to
it's
see
great talk,
more.
guys.
Want to see more like this? I'm gonna link everybody's channel in the description below. You can check them out, show them some love, tell them that Toby sent you. If you guys want to see more like this, like, share, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. I'll see you guys next time.